Right, are we live? Are we live, chat? I think we are live. OBS is telling me we are live. So I think we are live. And I got a new lamp. I got a new lamp that is powered by a solar battery that has been charging for most of the day. And it might go off, it might go down during the stream, and if that happens, I'll have to switch to the no, this is also an electric light, but like like the regular lamp on my ceiling that this goes from like electricity. It's also electricity. They just made. Yeah, you know what I mean, okay? You know what I mean, like the normal lamp that you from the bill that you pay for with the bill, because family's got ideas. Family's got ideas that to like you know pay less for electricity. So there's now a bunch of like solar batteries at the windows, and we're charging these lamps that are then for at least a few hours are shining. Not oil lamps, not oil lamps. It's like the like normal ceiling lamp connected with cables to the city grid. I mean, so they got this idea, and I have these lamps that when came from the solar battery. There's a bunch of solar batteries at the windows, so so we pay less for electricity. I don't really know if that will really make that much of a difference for the electricity bill, because it's like a very small difference really, and given how much the light from these lamps is already fluctuating, I feel like it's going to go out. The lamp is going to go out very soon. It's been going on since sunset, since around sunset, and that was like around this time of year. What's the sunset like? 9:30, 10 p.m., something like that. What not really? Lights usually take the least amount of energy, so it's not going to make a huge difference. Yeah, I know. It's just, I know. They got ideas to like limit the electricity bills, like they put up all these batteries. Okay, sure, like whatever. It doesn't really change much for me. So like sure, do this. And when this lamp goes out, I'll probably have to take a very brief break, get up, change the light to the main light, and it should be a very short break. But yeah, I got it. It's very exciting news. I know it's very exciting news. It's a very exciting topic to talk about on stream. I know. People are just like lining up to hear about my light problems. That it's not a problem yet. People are just lining up to hear about my solar powered lamps. Yeah. When you really think about it, isn't everything solar powered? Because like every all the energy on the earth, like okay, 99.99999% of all energy on earth comes from the sun eventually, like even like coal used to be like dinosaurs, or like not dinosaurs, they used to be like plants, the plants that existed like thousands of millions of years ago. Yeah, but these plants took their energy from the sun. But even going even further back, even if you got like silicon that is inorganic, you get silicon. That silicon came from like the dust cloud that shaped into the earth, and that dust cloud came from the same cloud that formed the sun. So like when you really think about it, like all the energy on the Earth is solar energy. Well, except like like minuscule percentage of like starlight at night that is coming from like distant stars, like this very minuscule part. So when you really think about it, everything is solar powered. You know, maybe it's like economical. Maybe it's like it's green energy. We're doing green energy. We're doing green energy because this energy comes straight from the sun. You know, the sun and the solar energy didn't get wasted on like. What about nuclear? Apparently, like, well, I was very surprised that people were like so opposed to nuclear energy. And like, I get it. It sounds scary. It sounds scary because when you hear about nuclear energy, you think about like nuclear weapons. You think about nuclear weapons. And nuclear weapons are like the 2 or 3 nuclear power plants that exploded. You think about those, but you don't think about all the power plants that didn't explode. You don't hear about them, and there's like thousands of them. And sure, when it goes wrong, it goes very wrong. Sure, that's true enough. But like it's a very potent source of energy, we need alternatives to like coal and stuff, and so far like solar energy or like wind energy is like limited because we can only use so much of it. It's like I feel like all the opposition to nuclear energy comes from either fear mongering or from like lobbying from oil companies, because oil companies are really like one of the worst things on earth, because these people, these like oil company execs, like they are lobbying, and they are, just repeating the word lobbying, they are doing a lot to harm the planet, and just cause a lot of. But I'm not being very good with my words today. I am reminded of this George Carlin skit, part of his whole set, where I actually didn't agree with Carlin. Like, I don't agree with a lot of things that Carlin says, because a lot of them are very hyperbolic, very like exaggerated, just to make a point, because it's comedy. But he has this bit. In fact, I live in a fallout zone of a nuclear plant, so if it ever explodes, yeah, have fun with that. George Carlin has this bit where he's saying had a bit. George Carlin had a bit, unfortunately, past tense, RIP. He had this whole bit where the planet is going to be fine. It's people who are fucked. I mean, yeah, the rock, like the barren rock, will be fine, but a planet is more than just the rock. A planet is more than just a rock. A planet is the biosphere, is all the life on it. And if we screw over the life on the planet, and because we really have the potential, we really have the capacity to destroy all life on the planet, and if we do that, the planet is screwed. Yet the rock will keep floating around the sun. But is it really the same planet if we just destroyed everything on it? So this is one of those bits where I don't agree with him. Honestly, I think only dumb people oppose the nuclear energy. Dumb people and rich people who can't buy nuclear plants. Dumb people or people who got fooled by the rich people. But we are now we are still in Ruined King. We could, in theory, we could go straight to what's his face. Okay, I don't. We could, in theory, go straight to Bilgewater and deal immediately with Viego. Could go straight there. We are level like 29. We don't have like these like level 30 legendary weapons. We don't have like, we didn't complete like all the side quests, so we could in theory go there, but it would probably be very difficult. So I wanna get to level 30. I want to try to get all those legendary weapons, and then we will go and face Viego. And meanwhile, while we prepare to face Viego, we will. Are you the guy? Oh Jesus! 4 waves. Okay. While we prepare to face Viego, we were gonna just talk about stuff about nuclear plants. About nuclear plants, apparently. That's not a topic I was prepared for. So yeah, nuclear power topic. No, that was apparently for today. Okay. Sure, buff. I also watched, like, at least at one point I watched this guy on YouTube. Like, I'm not I don't know if he said he was a scientist. I'm not sure if he really is. Kyle Hill. Yeah, I just remember his name. Kyle Hill. I don't know if he really is a scientist. He says he's a scientist, but I haven't watched him in a little bit. I don't know what he's doing nowadays, and I just just his videos just didn't pop up on YouTube for me. So I don't know if he's not doing more videos, or for some reason YouTube stopped recommending his videos. Yeah, you know what YouTube is now recommending me a lot? Like random bits of music, because I have started like putting up like random musical background from YouTube while I'm going about stuff, you know. So like I just put up an Iron Maiden album from YouTube in the background while I do stuff, and you know, yeah, like I discovered, I'm apparently a very musical person, and I have just been very pushed back on it by an asshole music teacher from like basically elementary school. To not go into details about the Polish education system of the 1990s and the early 2000s.
You're not getting away.
Apparently I'm a very musical person, and having some music in the background helps me keep me motivated, helps me working, helps keep work. How do you make a sentence out of that? Helps me to keep working. I think that makes sense. Okay, none of those down. Okay, I'm just gonna reserve some mana on these because they don't look very difficult. Okay, but yeah, I've started putting up like music in the background while I work on stuff. So now my YouTube suggestions, like half of my YouTube suggestions are just like random music stuff, either like background when I need to like actually like think about like talking about words. So I put up just like ambiance or ambience, I don't know, one of those two. I put up like an ambience from like a zone from World of Warcraft or Dragon Age or what have you, and just keep like this gentle like instrumental like background noises to keep it going, or when I'm like working on something like during the day when I'm like reading something, I put up like an Iron Maiden album, you know, and so now my YouTube suggestions, I have on my YouTube suggestions are music, which is, you know, I don't really mind, but now it means that it's harder to find something longer to watch, some longer form video to watch, and that annoys me a little bit because I like to. I mostly go on. We used to go on YouTube mostly, like watch like some content, watch like some interesting topics, you know. And I'm not getting them anymore. I'm getting like a lot less. Yeah, you know, when you are just talking about random shit, this game is passing faster. When you don't have to think too hard about what you're doing. Four waves, and none of them were the guy I came here for. I think you're no longer taunting, so I have to do that. I have to do this again, maybe not. Just preserve some mana and just hit stuff. You still have a little bit of mana.
Perhaps you are tired.
No, I don't think they are tired. How long does it last? For 2 actions. So it probably expired, whatever I did before. Is it really worth it at this point? I don't know. Okay, machine gun time. Yeah, we are also working for our game, working on a lot of stuff, on a lot of different stuff. We have just started an Undermine story because like the whole stories of the recent expansions just can't really happen in our game.
Fish in a barrel. Dead and buried.
Like Dragonflight could in theory happen. Dragonflight could in theory happen. There's no reason why it couldn't be that somebody like goes to the Dragon Isles and like frees the primal incarnates. That could happen. Like the Dracther are already out because I wanted to have Dracther out in the world because I wanted them to have them available to be played. So the Dracther are already out. And it's the timeline currently is like we're like early in Wrath of the Lich King, and they've been released much earlier because, you know, I wanted they have been released during like the vanilla WoW timeline. So the Dracther are already out. Are these 2 people we need to kill in here? Dracther already out, but somebody could go up and release the primal incarnates. That could happen. I didn't concentrate hard enough
You know who I am.
to shoot these guys. So and primal incarnates go out and they start doing stuff. But Deathwing isn't dead yet, so that would be very different. How do the primal incarnates interact with Deathwing? That would be a very interesting question if they got out now. You know, I don't know if that's what will happen. Even I don't know that yet because I haven't gone that far ahead in my designs. Like, I have like a rough idea of what I want to do with like the classic storylines and with their own stuff that we're doing. I have a rough idea of what I want to do in what order. This just very general outline. I have that. But like, what can change? A lot it can change. A lot can happen before we get there. Like how long it will take us to get to like Cataclysm timeline. How long will it take us? I don't know. What will happen until then? Like how will it line up? With like because we're doing like on this like mission table that we're calling it. Like this, like which is like kind of a play by post kind of side thing. We're doing this like this mission table, and that's where we're doing most of the classic plot lines, which is now in like Wrath of the Lich King era, and also we're doing like live on the main sessions. We're doing the main missions, and I'm just like wondering like how would that line up. I don't know how that would line up. Like even if I knew exactly how many weeks it would take for us to beat the Lich King, even if I knew exactly that, I can't really predict how that's going to line up with the missions we do live. So I don't know what we'll be doing live after like how many weeks, months. So even I don't know how exactly it will all play out. But I do think it would be an interesting question about like if the primal incarnates got released while Deathwing was still around. I think it's an interesting question, at least. Like, what would happen? Come on, I just shot you.
I don't scare, I don't tire, and I don't stop.
So, like, Dragonflight could happen in theory. It would probably also end up happening very differently. But like, even if like, I don't like how Dragonflight ended. I think I talked about that in a video before. I don't like how Dragonflight ended because like it kind of basically just stopped. There was a story in Dragonflight. It wasn't a bad story. I didn't hate it, but then it kind of just stops. Like, kind of, it feels like it kind of stops in the middle. Like you're getting the whole story with the incarnates, and you beat the first incarnate, like Razageth, the one that was imprisoned with the Draxer. You beat her, but like you beat her, but she still wins. You beat her, but she still wins, and she releases the 3 other incarnates. And then you end up befriending Viranoth. Like, let me back. The patch, there was the timelines patch, but what order was it? I need to remember. Like the first patch after release of Dragonflight, that was the Return to the Forbidden Reach. That was the Return to the Forbidden Reach, and then. And then it was the Infinite storyline. It was a raid, right? In Dragonflight, it was a raid. It was just a dungeon. The Infinite stuff in Dragonflight. You know what? I'm gonna have to check how it exactly went. I'm gonna have to check that actually. This article is about the types of dragons. Yeah, of course I mean the expansion. Patches. Show me where the patches were in the order in which they happened. Literature, gallery, concept art. Give me the why isn't that listed here? Why doesn't the page for the expansion list like the patches and the order in which they happened? Oh, here, zones. So, of course, Zarelek Cavern, of course. So it was the Forbidden Reach, the Return to Forbidden Reach. Then it was Zarelek Cavern. And then it was like 1015, that was the Infinite Dragonflight thing. And like 1015, yeah, something like that. And then it was the Emerald Dream. So yeah, we go to Zarelek Cavern. We're trying to stop this one guy, this one Drakter guy. I don't remember his name, like Ebon something, not Ebonhorn, that's the good guy. And we're trying to stop the Ebon guy. And what I found particularly funny is that they made the guy who was the final boss of the Zarelek Caverns raid, Aberrus, I think it was called. The guy that was the final boss of Aberrus, that guy, by the time you get to fight him in the raid, you have already fought him solo like 3 times. Like at one point, there is a quest in Dragonflight. We're just doing some like random quests in the city in Valdraken. And this guy, the leader of this whole enemy Drakter faction, he just jumps you randomly, you fight him for a little bit, and you actually beat him, and he escapes. And this is the guy they decided to make the final raid boss. Like, he was so non-threatening. Like, he was so non-threatening, I was like just wondering, like, how is this guy the final boss of the raid?
Got something special for you. Now you pissed me off.
They decided to make that guy the final boss of the raid. But you deal with him and his hostile Drakter faction. Then is the whole Infinite Dragonflight storyline. And there's timeline shenanigans. Like you go back in time, and instead of fighting Galakron, you just sit in his shadow for a little bit, like fight some infinites around Galakron. He sucked up enough void to get over his skill issues. He does get like some void transformation, but he was by this point. I'm like, he's so non-threatening. I'm like, okay, we're fighting this guy again. Like, okay, so he got a little bit of void in him. Okay, yeah, big deal. He's just so non-threatening. But then. You get to like I don't understand. Oh shit! Oh, this must be the guy we need to fight. He's big. Okay, this guy is huge. Rasa the Sunderer, yeah, must be the guy that we need. Okay, so better focus on this one. He's in middle, okay. But also loses all damage taken by 40% per stack. 1 stack removed per ally death. Okay, so kill these guys first. Okay, what exactly does this do? Champions attacking the target heals, so... And it lasts how long? Doesn't say how long. So no, maybe leave that for later. and then like I don't understand what happened in the whole Infinite Dragonflight, like, because we are in the past, in the time of Galakron. Because we're in the past in the time of Galakron, and we go off to fight Iridacron. Yeah. It was a mega dungeon. The Infinite Dragonflight thing was a mega dungeon, not a raid. I remember now. But we go off to fight Iridacron. Okay. We go to fight Iridacron and we defeat Iridacron. But turns out that while we were fighting Iridacron, the Infinite Dragonflight somehow corrupted the Proto-Drake Nosdormu to turn him into Murozond. Like, but he gets corrupted when he's still a Proto-Drake, so he doesn't have the aspect powers. So he doesn't have the time powers yet. How does he get turned into Murozond? Like, how does that happen? Like, it's just kind of, if you fight Iridacron, somehow Murozond returns. I don't understand what happened there, but okay, whatever. Time shenanigans. We go back in time to fix us going back in time, and we do the thing again. And then this time we let Iridacron go to defeat the Infinite Dragon. And Iridacron escapes, and this is why I'm talking. This is why I'm really talking about this.
Stand still. This'll go quicker.
So I'm talking about this because Iridacron escapes, and as he's escaping with the dark heart that they created, you can see the shadow of Zalatheth in the dark heart. And why I'm talking about this is because in our game, in our continuity that we made in our game, this part can't happen. Because stuff with Zalatheth happened very differently. And like Zalatheth is currently in the dagger again. For a moment she wasn't in the dagger. It's a very long story that random stream viewers, or we have any random stream viewers, not right now, but maybe like we'll have like some random stream viewer later, like somebody will be watching the VOD and will see this later, maybe. Like, you never know I never know which of these streams suddenly gets a bunch of views. Like, I never expect which one. But yeah. Okay, this guy is putting a lot of damage between the two waves that we did. He's like, does like two attacks in the time it takes me to between I can do one. Okay, Brom, you. I thought you shielded everyone. Where is the shield? Okay. Yeah, you try to do this again. Allowing. Maybe you can start. No, you need to heal people a little bit. And
Feeling better already. That'll teach ya.
and you know, what was I talking about? Yeah. So Iridacron can't escape with the Dark Heart to Zalatheth because Zalatheth is not present in the story. Whatever happens with Zalatheth in the future, we'll see. But Zalatheth is not present in the story. She can't make the Dark Heart, so Iridacron would not escape with that. So, if as the things are right now, if we were doing Dragonflight, it would probably like end properly Dragonflight, because after this whole story with the Infinite Dragons, then you get the Emerald Dream storyline, and Fyrak appears, and Fyrak invades the Emerald Dream with the fire elementals. And in the canon story, we defeat Fyrak, and then just kind of ends. There is no like a proper resolution for the storylines that were going on. There's no proper resolution for the Primal Incarnates. Iridicron just kind of fucks off in the middle of it, and Fyrak just kind of dies, and everything just kind of stops abruptly without a proper resolution. That's what I don't like about the story of Dragonflight. So, because there's no Xal'atath in the story, there's no Dark Heart in the story, it would essentially, if we're doing Dragonflight now, we would just end it properly. Maybe we would be doing Fyrak, and then we would do something with Iridicron and defeat Iridicron properly. But then, if we go into the expansions further on, like the War Within is all instigated by Xal'atath. And again, Xal'atath is not in our story right now. So, that can't happen. Where is the shield? Why is the shield just disappearing?
I'll remember that. Thank you kindly. I needed that.
We kind of did little bits of War Within already, like small little bits. We did, and the Arathi parts of the War Within can happen for completely different reasons, which I feel like all enemies, and now we need like a single target thing. Yeah, now we want to put this on. Sheesh, how much damage are you doing, dude? Okay, so let's do this. This should be showing her ship. We should be seeing her ship here. So like something is broken about that, because we should be seeing her ship here. Because I have seen that on YouTube, other people playing. But anyway, yeah, like War Within, we've done little bits of War Within that were like kind of usable. We've done the little bits, but the overarching story with Xal'atath, with the Dark Heart, that can happen. The Undermine parts can't really happen either. But well, yeah, you know, this whole story, like there's Galwix, and Galwix is trying to take over Undermine, and this is how I got into this stream of thought, because that's what we're doing right now. We're doing the Galwix storyline. We're working on deposing Galwix.
Expecting a thank you?
I needed that.
So that's the part of War Within that we can do, and without involving like the War Within stuff, without involving Ethereals, the Dark Heart, without involving the Void, all of that stuff that just feels really tacked on to Undermine. Like I don't know, like how does the Undermine really connect to the rest of the War Within? It's just because of Underground, and that's it. And they tacked on like the elements with the Ethereals, with the Void. They tacked on all of that. So yeah, I need to start like saving up. Are you tapped right now, dude? Yes, you are tapped. So I will at least do this.
You're shaking.
Sheesh. Yeah, you heal everyone.
Dead and buried.
Okay. We dealt with that one.
And the joy of battle.
Okay. So War Within, like we're doing like the Undermine parts, the usable parts of Undermine. We're doing now like the real Undermine story. We're doing that. The Karesh story, I am not doing the Karesh story because one of the friends, one of the players who are playing with me, he's got his own like section in this mission table, this play-by-post stuff. He's got his own section. He's doing the Karesh parts. He's doing the Karesh storyline. He's mostly doing his own idea of the Karesh storyline that isn't that isn't very connected to the canon storyline. So he's doing his own stuff. I'm gonna quickly check Discord. There's no like messages, anything. No. He's mostly doing his own stuff. Yeah, we're doing this, I think, and to do this we need to do this. This wasn't the Mistwalker in the graveyard. This was like some random shit. So this must be the Mistwalker in the graveyard. And we lost the food bath. But there's like a bunch of enemies in the way that I would have to fight again. Okay, fine. Fine. And what was I talking about? Yeah. So we're not doing the we're doing the undermine stuff. We're not doing the Karesh stuff. The Karesh stuff is being done very differently. I don't want to fight literally everyone here. Please fuck off. Now we got 5 waves. 5 waves. Probably because of everything that was chasing us. Okay, fine. Maybe preserve the mana a little bit on this. Because these aren't really a threat. I thought of... So like the War Within, much of War Within can't happen for us. And then we're getting into Midnight, where like pretty much nothing from Midnight can happen for us. Because, one, Illyria and Turalyon were not fighting the Burning Legion for 1,000 years. Like somehow in the 20 years, somehow 1,000 years for them passed, and they were fighting the Burning Legion for 1,000 years. So they were in our continuity. They were not fighting the Legion for 1,000 years. They were on Earth. Long story for anyone like randomly watching this. Like they were on Earth for the 15 years between Warcraft 2 and the time when they were found. For like 15 years, 16 years, something like that, they were on Earth. And we returned them from Earth to Azeroth, and sure they got their own ways, but Turalyon isn't Lightforged. Illyria never got the Naru. Illyria never got the Naru that was on Argus. On Argus, she never got that Naru. Turalyon never got Lightforged. The Sunwell was restored very differently. The Sunwell was restored, but it wasn't like polluted with light energy. So there will never be Light Bloom. There will never be like the Blood Elves will never. Yes, someone stole it from her. The Blood Elves were, but even before that, she was not going in that direction at all. Even before that, she wasn't going in that direction at all. And like the Sunwell was never polluted with the light, so the Blood Elves will never turn into high elves wearing red. None of that stuff will ever happen. Like pretty much, like it's amazing how much stuff that we are doing How much stuff in Midnight just cannot happen in our timeline. It's almost perfect. It's almost perfect how much of Midnight is just completely impossible.
Gotcha.
Like Zulaman, also the Zulaman stuff in Midnight that also can't happen. Can't happen because Zul'jin didn't randomly become a monster sucking off his gods. We actually helped Zul'jin. We freed Zul'jin from Malakras. We freed Zul'jin from Malakras when we were doing our own Zulaman stuff. So Zul'jin is still alive, and he's not an enemy. He's not really an enemy, and so like none of the storyline from Zulaman can happen either. Just about the only thing that can happen to some degree is that like we could in theory visit the Void Storm zone. Okay, and the Haranir exist. But also I think I never actually played Midnight. So I don't know. So I don't know this for sure, but I heard that apparently you only visit Harandar through portals. That there is no like actual physical passage to Harandar, because it's a zone that was meant to be in the War Within, and it got cut from War Within. It got replaced in what's it called, in Midnight.
Sometimes battle is unavoidable.
I won.
Doom Striker. Okay. I'm gonna actually do the shield here. But even in Voidstorm, the main story of Voidstorm, I've seen like I haven't played Midnight at all, but I have watched like Noble's videos about Voidstorm, so I know like the general story that happens there. And I know that the whole story about Voidstorm is about, Xal'atath. You go through the portal above the Sunwell to get to the Voidstorm and to get to Xal'atath, to stop Xal'atath. And most of the story is about what Xal'atath is doing in the Voidstorm and what she's doing with these Domanar that live there now. And like, because Xal'atath is not in the story, that can happen. None of that can happen. We could in theory go to Voidstorm, go to the zone, go to the world that became Voidstorm. We could in theory go there. But do I want to use the mana on this? Maybe not. Okay, fine.
Goddess is light.
Okay, yeah, I didn't like how that looked. Do we have the tap on anyone? No. Fine. Tap the smaller guys.
Just a short
I needed it.
You always pick me up.
You're not getting away. That'll teach you.
Okay, you don't need healing right now, so just tentacle slam this guy. Everyone is barriered up right now, so sure. But how did she get damaged? Tap the smaller guys. Yeah, it is like that sometimes. Okay, maybe that was a mistake to be...
I'll give you back.
Yeah, should have hit that guy with that instead.
Dead and
Oh well. Okay, Braum, what are you doing now? What are you doing now, Braum? We're shielded, we're taunted, we're buffed. And that is so weak right now. After everything. Just kind of start hitting people to get through this.
now you piss me off. Another knock on my door.
So like the Voidstorm story, the Voidstorm story, major story can't happen, but we could like go to the place. I don't know. It's amazing just how much of Midnight just cannot happen. Absolutely cannot happen. I did name a storyline we have. I did name a storyline Midnight for fun because I like the name. I like the name Midnight for a story. Like the last Titan stuff, we know very little of what's going to happen in the last Titan. You know very little about that. So I can't tell just how much of it can happen, but given the way things are going, also probably not going to happen. Like this is like Titan stuff shaping up, Titan stuff happening. But I also changed the Titan stuff happening. Because what I did about Azeroth, Azeroth as like this prime world soul, what I did was that like I noticed that like Azeroth kind of sounds similar to Zereth Mortis. And Zereth Mortis means the keystone of death. So I said Azeroth comes from Azereth, which means the keystone, like the keystone to everything, to the whole universe. And that's what Azeroth is, like literally the center of all creation, the center conflux of all the powers, of all the elemental and cosmic powers, and that's why it's so important, that's why it's so big. Is that going to happen in the last Titan? I don't know, I don't think so. But you know.
Preparation is key.
The lamp is still going. Like the solar powered lamp is still going, so I thought it would like go out by now, I don't know. Had to get a drink quickly. And what are we doing with Braum? We are still taunted, we are still shielded. Let's just kind of hit this guy. Okay. Is he tapped now? I think he's tapped. Yes. So, Heartbreaker. That should finish him. Yep. And he's down. Okay. Okay, wave 4 out of freaking 5. That's what we're doing now.
I seek guidance.
Okay. And we do the small shield on yourself. And you do the machine gun.
No mercy.
So maybe the last guy comes out of stealth. Yes.
Waste of ammo.
Okay. Double tap. These two. And Braum. Taunt expired. keep tentacling. You keep hitting them with tentacles.
Got a good feeling about this.
Okay,
Anyone else?
2 guys down. Yeah, I've been now talking about what we are and aren't doing in our game. I've been talking about that for so long, I like almost completely forgot what the topic was before that. I know I have been talking about music and how YouTube now just keeps pushing like music at me. And I don't really mind music by itself, but I lose the suggestions for like content to watch, like video game playthroughs, like commentaries, nuclear energy. That was also a topic. Yeah. I don't really know what else I can say about nuclear energy.
Warm smile.
I was lamenting how oil companies are ruining the world. You know what I think? What I started to think what I should be doing with the story is like get a post-apocalyptic story set in like I use these characters in our game. I use these characters as these 4 ancient tyrants that ruined Mars. And like I said, these ancient tyrants. You can tell us all we are doing in our game. There may be like random people. Like the stream now has 3 views, so there has been some random people, and it says 2 concurrent viewers. So like there may have been like some random people who stumbled on me talking about midnight. So that might have happened. But yeah, like when in our game, what I did was created these 4 characters. I didn't create all of them, but like the first one was Isis that I borrowed from Edgar Rice Burroughs, from his stories about Mars. I borrowed Isis from those stories. But she symbolized religion. She symbolized like people like creating these delusions. People creating these delusions to mislead people into going against their own good, because they are told that they are working for some greater good, for some kind of god, for some invisible god somewhere who wants everything best for them, and you just need to give us all your money and then God will do everything for you. She symbolized religion, but then we met in the stories that where I was doing the side stories. We met like 3 other ancient tyrants that also ruined Mars. With these 3 other ancient tyrants, and like what did they exactly call them? Mozg the tech vampire. Mozg the tech vampire, who was like a brain in a robot, and the name Mozg on one side, the name Mozg, on one side it's similar to the Polish word for brain, because in Polish brain is mózg.
Trying my patience.
In Polish brain is mózg, so I named this guy Mózg, like only with the U instead of a. In Polish you say it's M. They close the U. They call it in Polish close the U. It's an O. It's an O with a little dash, and we read it as U. So mózg. Mózg. This is brain in Polish. So I called this guy Musk, only with a U, with a normal U instead of the O thing. I must be the only person who just you know drew the letters with my cursor instead of just typing them somewhere. because that would be the same thing to do. Just type them in the chat. Because that would be the same thing to do. So Musk, the tech vampire, a guy who represents what the technology is doing to the modern world, how these tech moguls are corrupting our modern world. The third guy was Lavidrim, the warmonger. And Lavidrim is an anagram. If you rearrange the letters in Lavidrim, you will see a Russian name, and you will know who Lavidrim is supposed to represent. He's supposed to represent nationalism. He's supposed to represent warmongers that are manipulating other nations to fight wars, to just fight each other. Because that's what nationalism does. It's what nationalism does. It just manipulates people. It just convinces people. It convinces people that some people are better, that your people are better than the others, when really we're all the same.
Back to it.
So Lavidrin represents nationalism. And then the final guy was who I called Gunray, the trickled down horror. This reference might be a little bit harder to get for people because it's an older reference. So like, I don't know if I was how much time I shared on this earth with the guy this is referencing, the name is referencing, but he was a guy before my time. But it's still important to remember. The shit he's done.
Another one down.
You tried.
Because he was like, this was the big guy. Okay, we have to fight this. Because this is a little bit of a dated reference, so not everybody will get this. But so I'm gonna just spell it out. Gunray the trickle-down horror is Reagan, as Ronald Reagan, because he really started. He's a very old reference, but he's there in the list of these more modern characters because he started a lot of the shit that went down since his time. And he was the first domino that pulled down all this geopolitical disaster that has happened since his time. Like, if there was no Reagan, Putin's manipulations today wouldn't be happening like they are. If there was no Reagan and his trickle-down economics, if Reagan didn't convince millions of people against their own good, if he didn't convince millions of people that by making the rich even more rich, somehow this would make things better for the poor people, like, who buys that? Seriously. If he didn't convince millions of people against their own good that making the rich richer is somehow good, we wouldn't have people like Musk today. We wouldn't have people like him today who are using technology to oppress people. He wouldn't have people like. Why did I call him the tech vampire? Because he's the Edison of the 21st century. That's because Musk is the Edison of the 20th. He literally even uses Tesla's name, same as Edison did. He literally uses Tesla's name. He uses Tesla to prop himself up. He's got nothing to do with Tesla. He's the Edison of this century. He invents nothing. He's an idiot who is just has a lot of smart or had a lot of smart people working for him, inventing things for him in his name, and it all goes under his name, and people remember that it was Musk's firms that did this. Well, in reality, it was all done by the people under him. He's the tech vampire. He's sucking up the intellect and the lifeblood of other people. That's why he's the tech vampire. And he wouldn't be here, he wouldn't be doing this if it wasn't for Reagan. If it wasn't for Reagan, Putin's manipulations today wouldn't be as successful as they are. If it wasn't for Reagan, half of the shit today wouldn't be happening. There would be no Trump presidency if it wasn't for fucking Reagan. That's why he's the ultimate bad guy in that whole story. Because he started it all. Why I'm telling all of this is because I'm saying what I should be doing is like a post-apocalyptic story. Like a post-apocalyptic story that instead of like doing the Mars stuff, set it on Earth. Set it on Earth, like hundreds or thousands of years in the future, where Earth is devastated. Earth is devastated, ruined. There is like very little left, and people are fighting over the scraps. You know, people are fighting over the scraps. Okay, we did the guy in the graveyard. He was in that big cluster of 5 waves we've defeated. So he was somewhere in there. So we did that. So we can now leave this. And rest again, and then... I really don't want to fight everything, come on. Not this way. Which way was out? Come on. As a post-apocalyptic story, what I should be doing is a post-apocalyptic story set on Earth like hundreds of years in the future. Like, humanity is dying, Earth is dying, but somebody discovers that these 4 like ancient assholes that ruined the Earth thousands of years ago, that they are still alive. That they are still alive, they are still around, and like the story is about you can't save the Earth anymore because everything is too far gone. So like you can't save the Earth anymore. But at the very least you can punish the people who did all this to us. Sometimes I think that that's the story that I should be writing about. Because that's what it feels like. That's what it feels like right now. It feels like it's a hopeless situation, you know. Like we're already fucked. But we could at least get rid of the people who are causing this. At least, you know, I think that's like the kind of mood that a lot of people are getting. Like I see like a lot of talk about like doomers, about how depressed millennials are. Like I see a lot of talk about that because like that's the kind of mood that a lot of people are getting from a geopolitical situation. So this is one of those streams. This is one of those streams because I have now talked about Reagan and Putin. So this is going to be one of those streams. Yeah. Like I feel like that should be the book that I'm doing. Like, but okay. So this is one of those streams. What is the last Mistwalker that I need to fight? Why are you constantly on this page? Demons of Mist. The Mistwalker in the forest. And this is just showing me the place where it's like, no, this is not the place that I need to be. The forest. And the forest is where? Down that way. Okay, the opposite way. So yeah, we've talked about Putin, Reagan, and Musk. We have already talked about today. So yeah, who are we taking on next? Who are we taking on next? Come on, like Donald Trump? I would take on fucking Donald Trump. I would take on anything today. I do not want to talk about Donald Trump. He's just a disgusting piece of human offal. I do not want to talk about him right now. Guess we're fighting this guy. I don't even know who the Mistwalker in the graveyard was. I thought it was that guy that was in that other stack, but no, that wasn't him. So I don't even know. He was in that big 5 stack that we did. Apparently. I don't know which one. I do not. Trump is the one person I do not want to talk about because he's just a disgusting person. He's just disgusting. Like it's not even it's not even fun to make fun of him. It's not even fun to make fun of him. Because he's just this like dude is literally shitting in his pants while he's on air in the Oval Office. Like, it's just simply disgusting. That's all, and that's all I'm going to say about him. Like how, like America, how do you screw up that much? And now I'm done. Now I'm done with that topic for real. He's not tapped, so just tap him. I see also a lot of talking. People are complaining about a guy called Peter Thiel. I don't know who. I have to admit I don't really know who Peter Thiel is. I get that he's some kind of quote unquote bad guy, one of the people that are tied up with this whole clique, with this whole conspiracy that is currently ruining the world. I get that he's one of those. But I don't really know who he is. Well, at least they don't have socialism. Yeah, you don't want that. Like workers' right, am I right? Instead of socialism, they have tips. Instead of socialism, they can just not pay living wages to their workers and depend on the tips. Like, how did they get to this point? How does it get to this point? Like, the richest country in the world gets to the point that they just don't pay the workers and expect the clients to pay it in tips. Like, how do you get to this point? How does it get this bad? Like, it boggles my mind. Active when the noble, that's a noble. Activate when the noble is below 50% health, heals for 826 each turn. Okay, let's not leave him with that much health.
I always get my way.
Yeah, kill the Mistwalker in the forest. All right. 3 dead. Over too soon. What is this? This is from the Buru. My people came here to the Blessed Isles before the ruination. What stirs below is older than us all. Older than this place. older than these people. The seas were first. Wait, Buru here? I thought you people stuck to... Misfortune, we've been to the Buru Forge under the Shadow Isles. Why are you surprised by this? My people are in Bilgewater, are they not? Well, yeah, I just didn't think of the Buru as the pilgriming type. We go where Nagakaboros desires. See, this would never happen if the Queen was still ruling America, and that wouldn't happen. We just have different problems. I don't want to deal with that. And okay, now there's a worm here too. Okay, I'm gonna have to fight all this.
Good luck. Have fun.
Okay. Like, Britain has its own problems. Like, I don't pay attention to, like, the British political news as much as I pay to American news. But Britain has got its own shit. Like, I think their prime minister has resigned recently, and this other guy stepped up who wants to be the prime minister, and he says he wants to return the UK to the European Union. I saw the news from that this guy wants to return Britain. I don't know how that's going to work out for them. Like, are they going to just keep entering and leaving because whenever the government moves, the government shifts, changes? I don't know. Okay, you take this guy. Okay, we're taunted. Maybe shield everyone. And you now heartbreaker this guy. And you can tentacle this guy.
You are not ready.
Okay. There's some guy running for British Parliament who wants to kick out all the Muslims that can't refuse adapt to society. I'm not even gonna talk about these kinds of people because there's what is that to say about them? Just I keep saying, and I will keep saying that all the time. We are all in this together. We are the religions, countries, all of this stuff is all made up. It was all made up by the rich and the powerful to keep us divided, to keep us fighting each other instead of fighting them. Because as long as we're busy fighting each other, we don't see who's really screwing us over. So, like, all of this stuff, the countries, all the religions, all of this stuff, it's all smokescreen. It's all bullshit. It's all unimportant, irrelevant, and we all really need to forget about all of it. Because if we don't forget about all of it, then we might just figure out what the Fermi paradox, what the great filter of the Fermi paradox is. Because you know the Fermi paradox, right? If life is so easy to come up, if it's so easy to develop, and there are so many planets that can spring life, so logically there should be life on a lot of planets. So there should be alien in this vast galaxy. There should be some kind of aliens somewhere. So the question of the Fermi paradox is, okay, so where are they? And one of the possible answers, possible theories on what's up with that, and where are the aliens, one of the possible answers to that is there is a great filter. There is some kind of something that prevents societies from leaving their planet, which means that we never see those civilizations that develop elsewhere in the universe. So it's like, what could that be? What could be doing that? Like, one theory about like what the Great Filter might be is like, we found a lot of so-called super Earths, planets that are very terrestrial, very Earth-like, but they are bigger than Earth. They are big enough that the escape velocity from those planets would be too high for any chemical engine. For no chemical propulsion would allow those aliens to leave their planet. So in a lot of these planets, it's possible that they just can't leave their planet, and that's why we don't see them. But I think the real Great Filter is stupidity. The real Great Filter is stupidity. Or, you know, rich people manipulating the poor people to fight each other over stupid bullshit like countries or religions. Because the rich, what you need to understand about the rich elites is that they are very extremely short-sighted.
Another one down.
They are extremely short-sighted, and they don't care what happens to the world once they're gone, because they're gonna be gone. They don't care what's going to happen after they're gone. So everything they do is very short-sighted. It's all set to just give them the most stuff they can get now, and they don't care what happens later. You know, like from a completely egoistic point of view, it makes sense, because like why should you care about stuff that happens after you're gone? You know, like, why should you care? It's not gonna be your problem. You're gonna be gone. Like, it kind of makes sense if you think about it, yeah? Yeah, a lot of people have that problem with being very short-sighted, but yeah, a lot of people have that problem, but not a lot of people have the power to make that somebody else's problem. Because when the rich and influential and powerful people, when they do that, they screw the world for everyone else. And I think this is the real Great Filter. I think this is the real Great Filter that causes all these planets to never, all these alien races in the universe to never leave their planet, because they are going through the same thing. Because sometimes in fiction we like to imagine that like there's some alien race that is more enlightened, more peaceful. But you know, for a life to develop intelligence, it has to be kind of a little bit competitive. It has to be competitive to evolve that intelligence, and which means that majority of intelligent alien races are competitive, and if they are competitive, they are doing the same shit we're doing, and their elites are screwing them over. Their elites are screwing them over, and because of that, they are never leaving their planet. And because our elites are screwing us over, we are never leaving our planet. And that's the Great Filter. That's your solution to the Fermi paradox. And if we want to mature, if we want to leave this planet, leave some kind of legacy beyond this piece of rock, like, we need to get over that. We need to figure out a way. We need to figure out a way how to get over that. And like socialism isn't an answer. Socialism isn't an answer because we are a competitive species. If everybody is equal, then a lot of people will be unhappy because they don't want to be equal. A lot of people will be unhappy and they will work to screw that system over. Like, socialism would work in a different species that isn't so competitive, but it wasn't so competitive, it would never gotten intelligent, etc., etc., you know? Like, I don't know what the solution is. I can't tell you what the solution to that problem is, because, like, if it was that easy to come up with the solution to this problem, we would have already come up with it and we would have done it. But, you know, so I don't know how to solve this, but we as a species, we need to figure this out, or we're screwed. We get screwed by ourselves, and that's how it all ends. We get forgotten. We get forgotten as a piece of dust left on this rock. That's all the legacy that we leave behind us. And we just hit max level. And we just hit max level. So at least one of the goals is done. I do not want to deal with this shit. I do not want to deal with this shit right now. I want to leave this place right now. Is that a beetle? No, I think that's a spider that just looked like a beetle for a moment. Alrighty, yeah. Oh yeah, we need to do the level ups. Abilities. We got 2 points to spend now. You know, Orville had a kind of good answer for it. I have never watched Orville, so you need to tell me what the answer from Orville was. Sure. Like, they got to the Star Trek point of Federation and they had no money. Okay, I assume there is another point to that. Instead, your currency was like reputation. Okay. So like the Chinese thing that China has right now, like the social credit score. Is that it? So if you're like a normal guy just doing your thing, it was okay. And if you were like a role player who spends his time on Discord, like talking about like dragons and shit, then what? Then you're not okay. But the people that really wanted to be competitive, they went to do the hard, dangerous jobs. Okay. Okay, concussion, sure. Oh, he still has got 1 point left. We're not really doing this. And I mean, that would probably be okay. The bad reputations like thieves, killers, proven liars. Well, I might have a problem with the last one. I have been a little... I have to say that I am a... I am a, like a compulsive, is that called compulsive liar? I am a compulsive liar. I just kind of make up shit. I can't help myself. Just sometimes kind of make up shit. Like I try to channel that instinct to something like useful, to something creative. I try to channel that instinct, but other than that, like I kind of have this this impulse to just make shit up. I just can't help it. It just happens. I'm talking to people. I'm just making up shit about things I've done for no reason. It just kind of happens, you know. So I would have some problem with that society. Like this is kind of similar to like besides like reputation as a currency. I haven't seen that in Star Trek, but it's kind of what you're describing is kind of similar to Star Trek, because they are like supposed to be this post scarcity society. Like people on Earth are very comfortable. Detonation. Oh, them on the stacks of concussion. Sure. But you know, but you said like proven liar, so I'm like a massive liar. Can't really help it. But so I probably what you're describing. It's a lot like Star Trek, but like, and when people are comfortable and like content on Earth, but if people want to like adventure, because you know, if you tell someone, oh, I was on vacation on Mars but was locked in your basement playing games all day, it's not really harm. Yeah, it's not really harmful to us. You know, it's technically it's lying, because you know. But I feel like at that point, like, I mean, people like the politicians who say, I'm gonna do X, but then do something, yeah. You know, like, I feel like this is like the kind of thing that maybe a future society would like treat. Like maybe they have like some medicine that fixes my brain so I don't make up shit. But then if they did that, maybe I would like stop doing like writing stuff. I would be unable to do writing stuff. I don't know. You know what you're describing? It is a little bit like Star Trek, you know. So I don't know what to spend her points on, because everything I am using is already fully upgraded. So like I don't really know what to do for her. Like, sure, like they just do this just to spend the points. Okay, and I am using this now. Runes. Now we gotta set up the final setup with runes. We have 2 more left, so like evading an attack will grant 20 overcharge. Not really what I want to do. Applies ignite. Begins battle with plus 30%, or instead each turn increases attack power of a random ally. What is this one? Increases damage of critical hits. Okay, I'll go with that. Yasuo, we got 1 point left, so what can we do with it? Use attack power, begin battle with 15 overcharge. What can we do with like 1 point? That is interesting. Sure, I'm gonna do that. Braum, 1 point, so we can do like this. Sure. Ilaoi, 1 rune. I don't really need the stamina on her. Or attack power. We need these. Attack increases power of the next heal. Attack power, stamina, lifesteal. Sure, get me overcharge and 2 points for this, sure. Let's do that. Pike, who I'm not really using and I probably will not use again in this game. Got 2 points left, so what can we do with this? None of these seem like very... Should I... Begins battle with plus 20% attack power for one action and instead it just increases flat 15%. But I've still got 1 point left. It's got one rune left, so like... I don't really know what to do with him, really. Sure, whatever. I'm not really using him. And for her I got 1 rune. Begins battle with 3 stacks of essences. Sure. Okay, done with the runes. What's this inventory? Nothing new will be here. Should look into the enchantments again. But maybe once I have the legendary weapons. Okay, what are the quests looking like now? So yeah, what you're describing, return to Phileas in the port, I think he was. So it does also happen in Star Trek, which I described, and yeah, okay, I'm not sure the future from Star Trek would really work either, because like people just want to be competitive. People just want to, and by competitive I mean some people are not happy unless other people are unhappy. Some people are just unhappy unless other people are unhappy, and you just can't get rid of that unless you somehow like brainwashed the whole entire human race to like remove this problem, like made some kind of drug that removed this kind of feeling from the whole human race, which is, you know, like a complete sci-fi. You see, like this is never, it's never going to get away. So these kinds of people will always be there. So it's like I don't know what the solution is. Like the yeah, return to the Forge and Threshers dungeon. Okay, so we got everything for Ilawi's weapon, but everything for Ilawi's weapon, so we can stop tracking this and free up a slot for a quest to track. And now we can, this is return to the forge, head to the warehouse. Find an effigy of the benevolent wind goddess. This is for Yasuo's weapon. So find an effigy of the benevolent wind goddess. We're gonna check that on Google. What did it say? Find an effigy of the benevolent wind goddess. Of the benevolent wind goddess, ruined king. Common challenges and defeat in the arena at Baron's Rest. Okay, so you can probably do it now that we're level 30. Okay, so I guess we're returning to the arena now. And apparently the benevolent wind goddess is Janna. We're not gonna see Janna, but we're gonna at least talk about her. We're gonna have an item related to her to get like Yasuo's weapon. Yasuo's legendary weapon. And now we're doing Yasuo's weapons, so we're gonna switch people up and replace her misfortune with Yasuo. Okay. And Baron's Rest was I don't know. Return. I will first come to the board because I also had a thing to handle here. Don't go back. Rasa the Sunderer. He looked completely different when we got there. The Hullbreaker. That's the. It says 27, but he was actually level 29 when we got there. So now we're level 30, so we could handle that guy now probably. But I'm gonna do the Yasuo thing first. And Baron's Rest, I think it was up here. This is like the boat teleporter thing. And Baron's Rest was in like Slums Market? Yeah, it was here in Slums Market. What was I talking about before I got interrupted by the game? Remind me what the last topic was. Yeah, this is the future in Star Trek. Cause I'm not convinced that it would work at all, because just like they like to say in Star Trek that we like grew up as a species, like they like to say things like that. But then whenever anything happens in the story, like people are still behaving the same way they always did. Okay, this is solo. They're just to fight the beast. I don't remember who the beast was. Sure, let's do Yasuo. You can get rid of people like that, but you know you will never get rid of all the people like that. Like eugenics, yeah, no, we're not doing that. I'm not. What's his name? Urza from MTG. Like I'm not Urza. I'm not doing eugenics. Like dude, like Urza from Magic the Gathering. Like dude, literally, like when he needed someone to pilot the ship. He made a ship and he needed someone to pilot the ship. So what did he do? What is the, what's the rational, like what's the rational thing to do when you need someone to pilot the ship? You go out and you... Like you go out and you find pilots. Like you talk to people, you find someone who is good at it, and you find a pilot. What did Urza do? He created like a pocket space, he created a pocket of space, and he bred people in that pocket of space to create himself a perfect pilot for his ship. Like that is insane. Like dude was just doing, like he's just doing everything about eugenics. Like people are not cows. People are not cats or dogs, so that you can breed them to get the right traits. Like that just doesn't work with humans. Okay, now do Braum. Horatio. Who's Horatio? No, that's a worm.
A fight? If we must.
Horatio are a clone species of Horatio. I still don't know who Horatio is. Yeah, I probably don't need to taunt when I'm the only target available.
Let me show you the door.
A guy who thought himself so perfect, he decided to clone himself to make an entire species of Horatio. But like, where is he from? Like, is this like a Warframe thing? Is this a Destiny thing? Like, I don't know.
Perhaps a story.
Like, let's just say endless universe. Okay. Yeah, I don't remember. I don't remember a Horatio. I'm sorry. Okay.
If I must.
Okay. The shield is holding. And it's not holding anymore. Now you can probably win this.
Together, we overcome.
Okay, and this beast. It doesn't even say what this beast is. Okay, 2500 gold now. So this, we better be able to beat this. Okay, what is this now? Like when you say endless, the first thing that comes to my mind is is Dream of the Endless, like Sandman stuff from like DC Comics.
I have been waiting for this moment.
Okay, I'm taking a lot of damage here. Like, sure, I'm healing, but it's reduces all non-true damage by 90%. This is this non-true damage. Like, I don't know what makes it true. Like, just doesn't say it's true. Endless Legends, endless. Yeah, I know that. I recall that those are games, that those are things that exist. But like when I hear the word endless, when I hear the word endless, that the first thing that comes to mind is Sandman. Maybe we don't need space federation. Yeah, we definitely don't need one asshole to be dictating everything. Like, it's bad enough when there's a dozen assholes dictating everything. Like, putting everything in the hands of one idiot. Like, that's literally what's happening in America right now. There is one asshole that is trying to consolidate all the power in his hand. One demented, perverted asshole that is trying to control everything. That is exactly what is happening in America. So, you know, we definitely don't need any emperors. This guy's got a machine gun. Yeah, and that hurts a lot. At least she's like healing right through it. Like, is the test of spirit still on? Yes. For one more turn. Okay, so I can tentacle this guy one more time. And now test of spirit is gone. Yes, it's very much heresy. I am very much a heretic. I am very much a heretic in almost every possible meaning of the word. We got a test of spirit on, so we're gonna... well, lost the tentacles from the test of spirit, right?
Let me show you how to do it. The universe no longer needs.
Like out of all the like when it comes to Warhammer, but talking about Warhammer 40k, out of all the factions in Warhammer, I think my first faction is the Tau, the faction that I hate the least. And then the Empire, the Emperor, because like when you get into like the lore of the Emperor, like he didn't want. Okay, this. Okay. Why did I suddenly start taking more damage? Like, but out of all the factions in Warhammer, the faction that I hate the least is the Tau, because it's like the greater good and that stuff. And of course they had to add more like bad stuff to the Tau, so that people don't think the Tau don't do anything wrong. So, but the Tau are like the faction that I hate the least. But and the Emperor, and what I was talking about, like that when you get into the lore of what the Emperor was like when he was still alive, this harpooner was found inside the belly. So yeah, maybe I'll try this with Brawn. When you get into the lore, like the Emperor didn't want things to turn out the way that they did. He didn't want to be a god. He didn't want to be worshipped as a god.
Friends, I have my shield.
I don't need to taunt because, you know. Okay. Okay. Okay, I don't know how to deal with this guy. It's like reduces all non-true damage, but how do I? Nothing I do deals true damage. It doesn't. Nothing says true damage. So like everything deals 10% damage, and then he like deals a shit ton of damage with an attack. Like he just went through the whole shield I just did, and like I have nothing. I have literally nothing I can do to him. Like I'm not even gonna try with Yasuo, because like what's Yasuo going to do? Ari has true damage. But like Ari has true damage, but she's going to just die to one attack from this guy.
Let me show you the wall. Don't worry. Save the Boros.
Yeah, like I got nothing on this guy. Like, I'm going to try the Yasuo once, but like... I'm going to try with the Yasuo, but he's going to just die instantly.
Best way to settle an argument.
Okay, not instantly. He managed to do something. Like, nothing deals true damage. Yeah, and he can't heal, so he's just dead instantly.
Contain the wind. Swift like vengeance. Good.
I don't think there's anything I can do here. Like, even the ults are not true damage. So even the ults will do like 10% damage to him. Alternate between stun and true damage spells. They're like... I'm gonna get her, but like... I don't have a resting here now. Is there a resting? It's over there. I'm gonna get her, but I'm telling you, that's not going to do anything. Like, once you stun someone, like they get immune to stuns for like half an hour. Where's the resting? You the resting? Oh, okay, okay. See, if I can't beat this guy, I can't get Yasuo's weapon, and we're basically cooked. Okay, so sure, stun. He's very briefly stunned. Magic damage, magic damage, magic damage, magic damage, magic damage, she does not have true damage. She has magic damage.
At least try to keep up.
Magic damage, magic damage, magic damage. She does not have true damage. So yeah, that's not going to do anything. Now he's stun immune. So yeah, we're screwed. Here. Yeah, well, you see it now. Magic damage, magic damage. You can't swap spells. You get the same spells. Can't change them. It's all magic damage.
I've been waiting for this.
Balance deals magic damage to all enemies and ignites them. It's all magic damage. And he's now stun immune.
Wounded.
So it like works once. Is he like speeding up?
Feeling slow, are we?
Pike. Don't tell me I have to do frickin' Pike. Also, I'm pretty sure he's somehow speeding up. It doesn't say here that he's speeding up, but I'm pretty sure he is speeding up. He's like attacking faster and faster.
Do I know you? Time to feed.
Okay, managed to stun him. I'm gonna run out of mana. Sent you the guide I found. Okay. I'm fighting this guy, no damage with Pike, but then it attacks all his stealth anyway, okay? Do I really want to, do I really have to pull out freaking Pike? Ugh.
Are you supposed to be scary?
Yes, it is very scary, Ari. Right now I'm out healing him. I don't know for how long, but
Their life is not.
and yeah, we are once again facing this game's best idea of what challenges. Reduce all damage taken by 90%. Yeah, that's sure. Don't need healing right now. Do we have this on Foxfire right now? Don't.
Just like I practiced.
I don't know how long I will be able to out heal him. But yeah, now I need to heal again. Maybe let's just do this. I am right now. I am out giving, but I am also running out of mana. So that is the point when I'm probably going to lose. And he's probably going to attack me. No? Okay, I managed to get that off. But now I need to heal again. And I'm running out of mana. Try to stack overpower instead of spend. But if I don't spend mana, I'm not doing damage to this guy and he out damages me. So you can save the mana on heals. Yeah, but if I like this normally that deals 800 damage, so it will be doing 80 damage. So he will just out damage me if I do this. The moment I stop using mana, or the moment I run out of mana, which is going to be in a second, I die. Okay, like I'm gonna do this, but yeah, and he hits and he hits me back. When he gets hit, he hits me back for a lot of damage. So it's like, if I don't out damage, yeah, but like build up some overpower. But like, that's how you build overpower. You hit with the like the unpowered attacks.
Got you in the palm of my hand.
Yeah, what's wrong is this encounter. And now we're not dead yet. He missed! I don't think I've seen him miss before. Her one attack generated her 20, so we saved 20 mana on the heal. But her one attack also hit her back for how much? Deals 519 damage to attackers when hit. So I lose more health than I deal to him when I attack him with this. Yeah, reduce damage taken. And we're dead. Reduces all non-true damage taken, and nothing deals true damage. Okay? Like, do I really fucking have to get freaking Pike? Okay, what is happening? What's with the frame rate all of a sudden? Fine, I'm getting Pike. Like, even if she had the spell, how the spell works in this game is that you have to, it tells you how to dispel it, and like what special mechanic you need to use to dispel. And that ability didn't have a mechanic to dispel. So you can't dispel that thing. Yes, I have the guide open in another. Okay. Oh, you need very specific ability upgrades. Okay. I need to remember what he even does. %chance to apply stealth. Okay. Did not apply stealth. So I'm screwed. Oh, now I have stealth, okay. Like, nothing deals true damage here either, and there's no healing, so he's basically dead now. Yes. Done. What happened? What is loading? I didn't press anything. What's the catch? This harpooner, yes, I could. It's the same thing at least. Serrated slice. Okay, I'm gonna check his abilities. Serrated slice 2B. I have that. Okay. Carve 2B. I have that. Phantom Undertow 1A. Phantom Undertow. I don't have that. Okay. I don't have anything here. Okay, serrated slice. Where was it? Where was serrated slice? This ABA, yes. Carve 2B. ABB he uses. Okay. Phantom Undertow AAA. Okay, so I need to like disable something. A Phantom Undertow AAA. Okay. Gift of the Drowned One BBA. And now I need to disable something else. Stealth negates his only attack, and Undertow will clear his damage reflect buff. What? It didn't say he had a damage reflect buff, unless you mean that when he's hit, he hits back. And that didn't say how anything would clear it. Serrated Slice gets a TD bleed and a high chance of stealth. Okay. Can you explain this more? Am I doing it wrong? Being in stealth in no way stops his attacks, and Pike dies in 3-4 hits. Meanwhile, the bleeds are doing like 340 damage per tick out of his over 11,000 hit points. And the boss has only 2 moves. A single target attack. No, he has at least 3 moves. A single target attack and a reflect shield. If Pike is in stealth, he cannot target you and thus cannot attack you. That's not true. If you're getting hit, you're not in stealth. No, I was in stealth, I was getting hit. It's that simple. No, it's not. The vast majority of your attacks will bring you out of stealth, except for Carve. Get into stealth and just spam Carve. Carve 2B adds a true damage poison, and 3B gives you a chance at an extra turn. Okay, that's... It sounded like a lot of bullshit, but okay. Okay, I am in stealth, so just carve. Yep, he can definitely attack me while in stealth. So that was bullshit. So the guy was bullshit. Doesn't work. And now I'm dead. Yep. So that doesn't work. What saved game? You're not showing me a saved game. Fine, reload last save. Okay, I am in stealth, so he allegedly can't hit me. He definitely can't hit me while I am in stealth. The poison is doing true damage at least, but it's doing 100 damage out of 11,000. He doesn't have the reflect thing. Yeah, he can attack me through stealth. That's bullshit. Yeah. Apparently you're supposed to have bleed runes. Yeah, but but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. He can attack me through stealth, so he's going to die in like 3 hits. It doesn't matter what runes I have. The runes won't change that I'm dying in 3 hits. Yeah, it's just the comments. There are tons of comments that are telling this guy that nope, that you can get, absolutely can get the hit and stealth. Yeah. Did they patch this? Yeah. I'm gonna try Ilawi once, because it was like I feel like I was getting into something. feel like I was like having a chance with Ilawi. If I like try to think really hard about what I'm doing, then maybe I have a chance. But if not, like I guess I'm just not getting.
They will know me.
I'm just not getting Yasuo's sword. Lasts until dispel, but there's nothing about dispelling it. Like, how do you dispel it? Like, how do you dispel it? Isn't there a spell that just says dispel? Like, apply thunder, heals. No, there isn't. I read some guy did it with shielding, windwalling Yasuo while doing some 7-hit crit. Yeah, Yasuo also like dies in like 2 hits. So like that also doesn't help. Okay, the thunder.
Too slow.
Okay, this just crap now. Last time I was doing this, the tentacles were overhealing his damage, and now they no longer are. So like it's getting more difficult between every fight. Like what's happening? Like this time it just worked completely differently from last time I tried as Ilawi. I guess I'm not getting Yasuo's sword. I guess I'm not getting that. Okay, I don't even know it's RNG. It's just doesn't work. Like I'm getting hit right through stealth, a spike. So like, what is that about? You know, I don't want to be left with spike. I guess I'm not getting Yasuo's sword, and that's it. Yeah, it's too late now, so like I am leaving one way or another. Like I can't be arsed to spend more time on this. So yeah, this is it. This is it for today. We're not getting Yasuo's sword. I'll try the other legendary weapons next time, and hopefully they are less impossible. But yeah, this will be it for today. next video on Tuesday, and surprisingly, probably the next video is going to be the video about the Forgotten 4th edition D&D classes. I was surprised when it got the votes. It's like almost head to head with the video about human sub races, like almost head to head with that one. It's going so. I was surprised when it would. Last I checked, it was winning the Forgotten 4th edition D&D class. We'll see how well it does once I do it. I'll be doing it tomorrow, putting it together tomorrow, and we'll see how well it does on Tuesday. Meanwhile, I am getting really tired of this game's bullshit, and especially for today. So yeah, so this will be it for today. I hope at least the talks, the philosophy, at least the philosophy today was interesting. Talking about where we're screwed as a society. Hopefully, at least that was interesting when we were doing that. But yeah, this will be it for today, and I hope to see you next time.